Welcome back, you guys. In today's News Daily video, I'll be focusing on the latest reports surrounding Sarri and a potential reunion with Jorginho. And to end things, I'll be speaking about Napoli's hitman Arkadiusz Milik. Will he sign for us? And will Jeremy Boga sign for Napoli in return? These are the latest stories, you guys. I'll break these stories down. And before I get into anything, if you like today's video, then smash that like button. Help me get over 1,500 likes. And of course, today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app. Download the OneFootball app and make it part of your daily routine. It's a great hub, it's a great app to get the latest news, stats and figures from across Europe. I use it all the time and a lot of people tell me that they really enjoy using the app. So if you guys want to test it out for yourselves, you'll find a link below in the description below. Now, the latest reports coming out from Italy are stating that Sarri is looking to reunite with Jorginho. Now, these reports have come from the infamous Alfredo Padula. His article states that Sarri is looking at Jorginho as well as N'Golo Kante. But as Padula himself states, if Sarri could snap Jorginho up tomorrow, he would do that instantly. Padula even states that even though Jorginho wouldn't like to admit, he would go running back to Sarri. Now, when you're using words like running back, that really gives you an indication that maybe this window, we might be seeing Jorginho leaving to sign for Juventus. Now, if you're asking me, you guys, the way that Jorginho has been moving absolutely mad in his personal life, he's acting like a guy that's ready to leave all his stress and all his worries in London because he knows that he's going back to Italy. Personally, I never knew that Jorginho had that savage in him. But when you're a football player, when you're on big money, well, footballer confidence is a real thing. And once you have that, my friends, then you can do anything you want. But anyway, let's get back to things. Padula's article also states that Sarri and Juventus are still looking at Emerson and potentially to get the players they want from us, they may be willing to offer a player in return. And this player in particular is Bernadeschi. Now that I've got the story out of the way, let's break this story down. When it comes to Sarri, Sarri is a man under pressure. All the Juventus fans aren't falling in love with this style of football. This happens every single time, and as fans we know that Sarri's football takes a lot of time. Sarri himself has said that he needs at least one season to really just implement his footballing philosophy into the team. I also think that due to the fact that Sarri's systems tend to get the best out of every team's best player, let's not forget that Hazard had statistically his best season working under Sarri. Well, that's having the same and similar effects with Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is having a very good season personally at Juventus this season, and it's no surprise that Ronaldo's cosign is most definitely going to give Sarri more time to get Sarri ball working at Juventus. Now, due to how complicated and difficult Sarri ball really is, well, it's no surprise that Sarri has a habit for going back to former players that he's previously worked with. This season, Pjanic has struggled playing as a regista, and if you're asking me, I think it's because Pjanic is a player that likes to play with expression. Deep down at heart, Pjanic really is a deep-lying playmaker. Pjanic excels when he can express himself. However, when it comes to Jorginho, Jorginho excels when there's more restriction. Sarri wants Jorginho's tempo. That's the number one thing being missed out on in Juventus' midfield right now. So in my humble opinion, I feel like we could be seeing Jorginho leaving. And I think this is most likely going to happen, especially as Billy Gilmour has started to emerge in the first team. Now, as fans, should we be worried about Kante possibly signing for Juventus? I don't think so. I can see why ideally Sarri would love to sign Kante, but I don't think Juventus have that type of money. And if you're asking me, then I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Juventus made a little bid for Alan from Napoli. Now, before we end with the first story, let's not forget that Bernadeschi was a player mentioned in Padula's article. Would you guys want to see Bernadeschi acting as maybe a makeshift player in potential moves with Jorginho or Emerson? I don't think so. Bernadeschi had a lot of promise at Fiorentina, but since he's signed for Juventus, he's barely played, and if anything, I guess he'd be more like a backup option. If hypothetically, the business we do in the summer does involve a Juventus player signing for us in return, who exactly would be signed and who exactly would I like? Let's have a little bit of fun, you guys. As you guys can see on screen, I'm on Juventus's homepage and, going through the players. Do we want to see a goalkeeper come? I don't think so. Szczesny, Buffon, it seems like Juventus have that area sorted out. Moving on to the defense, things could be a little bit interesting here. The immediate option that really pops out to me is obviously going to be Alexandro. Sandro is still a very high valuable and top class player. At 29, would he be interested in potentially moving? Maybe, but do Juventus want to sell a key player at left back? I'm not too sure, you guys, so let's go back. Rugani, no, that's the last player I want to see. Demiral. Now Demiral, the young Turkish defender, this guy looks like he has a lot of promise. He's very strong, very fast, good technically as well, but he's a player that plays down the right hand side. And when we have guys like Zuma and Christensen, I think it's a bit of overkill if you're asking me. I think maybe when it comes to midfield options, we could be talking right now. Pjanic, he's a very good player. But now that we have Billy Gilmore, I think that we would just jeopardize his development if we move for him. I do like Rodrigo Bentancur. Now, this guy is very young, very good on the ball. He moves it very well. He plays in a 2, he can play in a 3. I think this guy has a lot of promise. I still remember his performances for Uruguay during the World Cup, and he really stood out to me a lot. He is a player that I do quite like, so who knows? Let's say potentially, we do a little bit of business. Anything can happen, to be honest. But, I'm looking at Paulo Dybala, top player, very good. He has kind of struggled a bit this season for Juventus. I think it's because he doesn't really necessarily suit Sarri's style, and he has made a lot of substitute appearances. However, if we did try to get Dybala as a part exchange, would that be a bit of overkill? Because, ideally, Dybala excels when he's withdrawing from the game, and I think he operates best down the right half space. But this is where I have the issue, you guys, because we've just signed Hakim Ziyech, and that is Ziyech's best position. I think it would be absolute overkill to have Ziyech and Dybala fighting out for the same position. So if you're asking me, the options that Juventus can provide us are a bit limited. So ideally, if Juventus want Jorginho and Emerson, then cough up the money. It's really as simple as that. You guys, make sure to comment below what players you might take from Juventus, and if you don't want to take any players, then state your reasons why. And now, my friends, we now move on to the second and final report for the day, and this is another Alfredo Padula exclusive. He's reporting that we are now interested in Napoli's Arkadiusz Milik, and he's reporting that us, Tottenham and Juventus are the main clubs in the running when it comes to signing Milik. Dula is basically reporting that there might be some issues when it comes to the current contract renewal for Milik and Napoli. Due to this, and due to the nature of Napoli's chairman De Laurentiis, he obviously has a valuation on all the assets at the club. Ideally, he'd love to get 70 million for Milik, but he understands that that might be a bit too far-fetched. Due to the current pandemic and due to Milik's contract expiring in only 1 year, it seems like if you want to sign him, you can sign him for up to 50 million euros. Now, for 50 million euros, you are signing a very good player. This season for Napoli, he's got 12 goals and 20 appearances. He's basically a 1 and 2 striker if you look at all his games across the season. And to end with the reports, there were some previous rumours coming out suggesting that we may look to offer Jeremy Boga as a part exchange to bring that price down for Milik. Now, this would be a hard one for me, you guys, because I'm sure that you all know that Boga is one of my favourite players. He's a player that I've spoken about highly for years now. However, and this is me putting my sentimentality to the side, it's looking like the club are trying to turn their focus to Jadon Sancho. If that's the case, then I don't think we could sign Boga and Sancho in one window. That would be overkill. So due to the nature of these rumours, I can see the business sense behind a deal like this. Napoli have had strong interest in Boga for a long time now, and of course we have the option to buy Boga back for a very good fee. As I said, putting feelings to the side, I could see some business sense behind a deal like this. However, could this just be a ploy from Milik and his agent to get the contracts he wants at Napoli? Because reports came out just a few hours ago from Milik's agent himself, and he said that talks between him and De Laurentiis are still ongoing. However, when it comes to the nature of agents and this football business, of course, naturally, if you're an agent, you want to test the waters, you want to get an understanding of the interest from other clubs. So if you're asking me, it's not really too surprising that Milik's agent is going to assess every possible option. Now, this tends to be a very good strategy to get the contract you want for your client. Now, Carefree Youth did put out a tweet earlier today saying that the club have been looking at Milik over the past month. Now, most times when I see stories and articles like this, they tend to form from old news in that sense. And of course, technically we have been looking at Milik. I do trust Carefree Youth entirely because he's always proven to be right. And from that perspective, looking at a player like Milik does make a lot of sense. This season for Napoli, he has been that main focal point up front. And Milik is a bit similar in profile to Tammy Abraham. He has a left foot. He's very good at losing his markers inside the box. He's very good at playing deeper as well. And he's a space creator. At Napoli, he works really well because Milik's the type of striker that will drop deep. And that then allows Insigne or Callejon to then make infield runs in that vacated space and behind. Milik has good pace. He's got good strength. He's very intelligent. And most importantly, he scores every type of goal. He has a very good and accurate left foot, and if this story is a lot more concrete than we actually realise, then I think looking at a player like Milik is the right profile of player that would be good for the team. When it's coming to strikers, our options are starting to become a lot more limited now. Werner wants to go to Liverpool, Martinez wants Barcelona, we don't know if Lyon are going to let Dembele leave as well, and if you're asking me, it seems quite clear that that big money signing we want to make might be Jadon Sancho. But anyway, you guys, in the comment section below, give me your thoughts on Milik. Is he the type of player that you think would be good for us? If so, let me know. And if not, give us your recommendations to the type of striker you'd like to see us sign. But anyway, you guys, that's going to be me for today. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later for some more videos.